All right, morning once again. So we are getting started now. I think we've waited long enough. I don't want to keep us waiting longer because of the load shedding that is starting today. Yes, I say too, I'm sure as you could see, everyone has written down their surname and initials. That serves as the register. So for those who join in later on, please ensure you put down your surname and initials. That serves as the register, your surname and initials. So please ensure you do that. So my name is, I am Professor Sheon Oyekola. So I'll be your lecturer for thermodynamics. And so I'm hoping that you are going to find this course exciting as I do. It's an interesting course, but it takes some hard work, like everything in life. So please, surname and initials. So please check what the trend has been. You'll see we started with surname, then initials, surname, then initials. Thank you. All right, so welcome once again. And thanks to those who are able to make it today. And also thanks to, I'm not sure if the class reps are here. I contacted them and then they were able to start organizing the class on the Telegram group. All right, so today is going to be introductory class. I've told you my name. My name is Sheon Oyekola. So I'll be the one teaching you thermodynamics, meaning we'll be looking at this subject from now till the end of the year. So the way the subject has been divided is such that we have in the first semester, we'll be looking at the fundamentals of thermodynamics, and second semester, I'll be looking at the applications of thermodynamics. I'm sure some of you know that in the previous curriculum, the way we had it was there were two different subjects. So we had one subject holding in first semester, another one in second semester, but this time around it's been combined into one subject. So yeah, so you've got my details there as well. And so please take note. And I'm emphasizing this in terms of my details because many students make that mistake and then they keep saying, no, we've sent emails, but you are not responding. Carefully check the emails. This goes to all of my colleagues as well. The way our own emails are is it's a surname, then from the first alphabet from our first name at cput.ac.za. So it is not my CPUT. Take note of that because many people send emails to at my CPUT. It never bounces back and they will think they've sent emails to the right address. So take note of that. And same goes with you as well. No communication, don't expect any communication to go into your private email addresses, your Yahoo, your Gmail address, or any other type of address. It's the university, so it's the university email addresses that you've been given that will be used. And so that's why, because your email addresses are linked to the Blackboard. So we use those platforms. So take note of that. So communication is very, very important. And the other thing is, please bear in mind, remember, this is a combined class. So we have the mainstream, we have the ECP. So that alone tells you it's going to be a huge class. So, and there are a couple of disadvantages that come with having a huge class. One disadvantage is that some people can just slip through the cracks. They don't care, they just disappear among the crowd. So some people might do that. But if you stick with the rules, follow everything, I'm sure that your individuality, you as an individual, will still come out even from among the crowd. Another possible disadvantage of having a large class is loss of communications. So, so it then can be student A said, student B said, student C said. Always bear in mind that the original communications will come from the department, and in terms of the subject, it will come from the subject lecturer. And the primary means of my communication is through the Blackboard, linked to your email addresses, the university email addresses. So take note of that. Everything has to be done in a proper way. So that is your official route. Follow the official route. So I'll send you emails to communicate, and I'm augmenting my communication route with Telegram. I know many of you are more familiar with WhatsApp. Even for me too, I'm more familiar with WhatsApp. One of the reasons why I've chosen Telegram for this group is that, going back again to the issue of number, I don't want you to get lost in numbers. Some people will only, because it's a large group, some people will only be joining at the end of February. Some will join in later in March. So what does that mean? All the previous communication that could have happened, the discussions, because I want us to use that platform for discussions as well. When they join in, if it was on WhatsApp, they wouldn't be able to see past posts. But for Telegram, you'll be able, anytime you join in, you'll be able to see the past posts. So that is why I've adopted Telegram. So please ensure you download the app Telegram for this subject. Join the class. I've sent the invitation, the link, the invite link. I send them to your I've sent them to your class reps, and also it's on Blackboard. So ensure you check the Blackboard regularly. So please join in, tell your other friends who haven't joined in, so that I know with Telegram, you can even have it on your tablet as well. So please ensure you join in. Thank you. So we'll continue from there. So like I said, today you're just laying the foundations, the ground rules. I mean, then getting to know you, and then as we get to the end, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. You know, if you check in the at the bottom part of the Zoom, you're going to see that icon that says reactions. So if you have any query or anything along the way, so click on that and click on raise your hand, and then you can unmute yourself. So that is that. Another one that I don't want to forget to mention is, please remember this is being recorded. So it's being recorded, it's going to go on Blackboard for your reference, for your revision, for your own review. So every class we have online, I record such, and then I put it there. So someone, okay, someone, Sisipo is saying I'm cutting. Is that happening for everyone, or you can hear me clearly? Sisipo said that it seemed that the line was cutting. That could, so please can I get a yay or nay from others if you can hear me clearly? Okay, thank you. I can, all right. So Sisipo, maybe it's from your side, but thank you, Sisipo, and thanks to every other person as well. It is essential that we engage. Please, it is essential that we engage. You know, one of the cons of online classes is that you can just log in and go away and do something else. But I want to encourage you, don't do that. Don't indulge in that. I mean, I've seen students do that over and over, and then when it comes to assessment time, they are lost. So please, it's for your own good, I'm saying that ahead of time. So these are the routes we'll be using, but please take note, things might change. Please take note, things might change. So that is why it is essential to keep checking the announcement. So for example, I've said, yes, we'll be having Zoom class next Tuesday, but what if load shedding becomes worse, or and the issue of venue and the rest? So please take note of that. So things might change, but this is how it is for now. I know in terms of the venue, what you have on your timetable is room 1.10, but I've arranged with my colleagues, I've swapped with my colleagues, you know, teaching during my period, that if they could allow me to use 1.12. So I've swapped venue with them. And one of the reasons why I want us to use 1.12 is for 1.12, we can open it up we can join it with 1.11. on like 1.10. So, for a large class as ours, because by the middle of the semester, I'm sure the class will grow to 100 plus. Last year, I had 154 registered students. So this year, it's going to be huge as well. So please take note of that. Things might change. Practicals will be offered in another subject. So they are going to, please check the timetable for the department. I'm not sure when the schedule for that is. And then I'm going to be available for consultation. And the way, in terms of the consultation, you can either, so you have the time there by appointment. So it's either you send me an email or send me, can even for appointment's sake, I don't even mind you sending me a WhatsApp message. So send me a WhatsApp message or Telegram. Sir, I'd like to have a word with you, and then we can do that. Or another thing that I normally do is, especially when we have physical classes, I will stay for quite a bit, so that maybe you're so shy to talk in the class, you can have a quick chat with me after the class. So please don't forget, as we move on, if you've got any queries, something you want to quickly clarify, check the reactions, put a click on raise, and then I'm going to recognize you. So prerequisites and co-requisites. So you need to pass Engineering Chemistry 1, Engineering Mathematics 1. I know some of you are still going through amendments and things and on like that. So for example, if you're still going through mark alterations and you're not sure, in terms, you haven't registered and the rest, my advice for you is still attend classes or get materials from your colleagues. Because if you're not yet registered, what that means is that you won't be able to get materials from Blackboard. So that is the flip side. And unfortunately as well, because of the size of the materials, because of the size of the class, I won't be able to send materials to individuals. So please, it's in as much that I love my students, some things are just virtually impossible. So please, let's use this difference. So whatever I can upload on Telegram, I will, but if not, but the primary place is Blackboard. So please take note of that. So if you're not registered yet, ensure you make friends with your colleagues. And rules for the subject. These rules you're familiar with already, but it's worth mentioning. Things do happen. As I like saying, we are all in this together. COVID-19 for the lecturers is not different from COVID-19 for the students. Some might think, no, the students and the lecturers' situation is better off than. No, we are all in this together. And many of you have multiple responsibilities as well. Same with your lecturer. So things do happen, but it is essential for you to take responsibility. So you miss assessment, something happened, make sure you inform the lecturer within 3 days. So that is why you cannot afford to be a solo flyer in the class. You don't have any friends. So if something happens that you are not able to get in touch with the lecturer yourself, get hold of the 2 class reps. And I've had the 2 class reps, the ECP, I've chatted to my colleagues who worked with the class reps last year. I learned they are very efficient, they are very effective. So I'm looking forward to working well with them as well. So use that bridge, use that link, get hold of your class rep, and then they'll get hold of me. So take note of that, 3 days. And reassessment is a privilege, it's not a right. Please check your rule books. So it is at the lecturer's discretion. And another thing that you need to take note of is this. In case you didn't know or you've forgotten, as reassessment, SIG test, whatever name we call it, you have a privilege of doing one. So meaning if you can't afford to miss multiple SIG tests, so if you miss multiple assessments, if you miss multiple assessments, you'll only be given the chance to write for one of them. So those are the rules. Remember, it's a university, and then we need to abide by the rules. So the rules as it works for the students, is work for the lecturer. So please take note of that. So I've said there'll be regular tutorials, there'll be quizzes. I'm so busy arranging with the faculty to get you to arrange tutors, to get tutors and teaching assistants for me. But another thing that I adopted last year, which I will do this year again, is I will chat to the class reps later on. There's one thing that I call the buddy system, B-U-D-D-Y. I'm going to chat more about it later on, maybe not today. Buddy system, your friends. So what I do with the buddy system is, based on your previous, from last year, you must have had groups, from your different subjects. So I say retain those groups. And for those who are joining the class for the first time, we reallocate them to those groups. So what you do in the buddy system is, I call it one teach one. So meaning that I help my friends within the group. So there are things that the lecturer might not even explain as well as some of your colleagues or peers might do. So you want to make friends with them, ask within your group, solve some of these tutorials within your group. But remember, I said solve within your group. I'm not saying you go there and just copy. That's what many people do, especially within a large class. And then when it comes to assessment time, it now becomes a problem. I've seen several instances, people who scored 80%, 90% during tutorials, during quizzes, during online assessments. When it came to on-site assessment, they scored so low. Why? Because some were copying others were just copying from the internet. You don't want to do that. So please ensure you learn. So you are expected to complete the practicals. I've said earlier on, ensure you check the timetable for the pracs. Check the timetable for the pracs. So these are the, so this is the assessment matrix. So you remember, so you are going to have test 1, test 2, test 3. And then we have, so you can see there are different weightings. So for the tutorials or quizzes, so as I mentioned in the previous slide, you see all are compulsory, but I'm going to select a number. And in terms of this selection, it's not like a menu book where what I select for Malacca is different from what I select for Sisipo. No. So if I'm selecting quizzes 3, 5, 10, that's what I select for the entire class. So what that means is work hard, ensure you do everything. And the way I arrange the tutorials and quizzes is I set them such that you'll be able to engage with your notes. All the chapters have quizzes. All the chapters have quizzes, meaning I'm expecting you to engage with your notes and then you do the quiz online. So, but the tutorials, we'll talk about that over time because the tutorials I prefer we have it on site. So please take note of that, and also take note of the issue of subminimum of FISA at 40%. Maybe I should mention this at this point. I'm sure some of you got a shocker at the end of the year when your results were being released last year, where you see some of your marks changed. So a couple of reasons for that. One is because of this subminimum. So sometimes students don't make subminimum in FISA, they've done well elsewhere, and then so marks, your T1, T2, T3 sometimes might need to be changed by the lecturer. And in other instances, so many factors. So in other instances, some you failed subminimum here, or in terms of which other, I'm trying, there is an instance that came to mind now that has escaped me again. Okay, yes. At the final stage, at the end of the year, maybe in order for you to qualify for reassessment, you know, the rule for the FISA reassessment is that you need to score between 47, think it's 47, between 47 and 48%, if my, yeah, but we'll clarify that later on. So you need to score between that in terms of your progress mark. So sometimes lecturers will have to change your marks to ensure that you qualify for reassessment. So I believe, you know, sometimes students think, no, that you're doing everything to hurt us, to, I mean, harm us. No, we are your lecturers. We've got you in our hearts. So please, you need to cooperate with us. So prescribed book. I know some of these books are in the library. So please take note of the names. But like I said, for those of you that are taking notes, I would say, you know, rather take notes of things that are not in the slides that I'm sharing with you, but in terms of the slides, I will upload the slide after the class today. So these are so this is a prescribed book. And then we have additional books, Elliott, Rayner, Joel. So those are, so if you can lay your hands on any of them, all well and good, do that. But if you can't, I can tell you that if you consume, let me use that word, consume what I teach you in class, you go through the extra materials that I give you, you discuss with your colleagues, you engage with those things properly, you can be rest assured that 85% of what you need have been crystallized into my materials. So I crystallized them. So I've gotten all these textbooks. So, and the reason why I do that is I'm well aware many of us cannot afford this. Many of us don't have this access. So that is why I use what I've got to crystallize good materials for you. So, so these are the things we'll be looking through. So from next week, we'll look at introduction and fundamental concepts. Things might change, but this is usually what the syllabus is. Things might change in the sense that we might move faster, we might move slower, but the bottom line is we cover everything. And the way I typically run my class is it's organized in such a way that I will have at least extra 3 weeks for revision. So that is how I run the class. So I run the class, and not that I'm going to run it too fast. No, I've just organized it in such a way that we will have ample time for revision towards the end of the year. So I need you to tag along with me. I need you to work with me. I need you to, you remember the saying, it takes two to tango. One tango is a dance type. One person cannot do that dance. So I can give you my 100% thing, and I've organized this class to the best of my knowledge, to have consulted my other colleagues, I've consulted others before getting you what the materials that I have here. So I want to tell, I mean, I can proudly say the materials that I'm giving you is a well done material, but it takes two to tango. If I give you my 100% and you are giving it your 10%, there is no way you're going to measure up to, I mean, to measure up to getting the best out of this course. There is no way. It's impossible. So it's essential to give it your best. So I've talked about Blackboard earlier on. So I'm going to be uploading materials on Blackboard. Video. So I share videos. In terms of the videos, those will be videos others have created. In some cases, there are videos that I've created as well. So I've got a YouTube channel. I'm going to, so for my YouTube, for the YouTube channel, what I'll be doing in the course of, I'll be doing in the course of the year, the videos that I've created for this subject, I'm going to update. Not everything is there yet. So I'm going to update my YouTube channel to put everything there. Those will be videos that I've created before. So I'm going to put it there for you to access. I'm going to give you the link later on. And then the question might be, but some of us don't have enough data bundle. So the other thing is, I also try as much as possible. For example, today's class recording, as soon as possible, I'm going to trim it, put it on Blackboard. Remember, your Blackboard is 0 rated. So I put things on Blackboard as well. So really, you don't have so much excuses. And another thing I do for the body system, I think I should talk about the body system more in the next class. What I also do is is something I call data pool. What do I mean by data pool? So if I've got within my group, instead of everybody downloading the material, how about someone downloads the material and then see, can we, so maybe someone is downloading material A, B, someone is downloading material B, someone is downloading material C, and we work within ourselves. So in order to ration our data. Another way is, for example, online classes. It's either you run to the venues within the university, or if you decide to stay in rest, which sometimes can be very distracting. If you decide to stay in rest, how about multiple people logging in from someone's system? So that is why I don't mind, and I'm just hoping, you'll be students of integrity. So from within someone's login, so if 2 of you are attending my class from one Zoom login, you can still put down your names. And self-learning, that can never be overemphasized. So I've talked about the issue of communication earlier on. Blackboard, Telegram, your my CPUT email addresses, that's your address, not your private ones. And then when you're communicating with me, I've given you my email address, and it is at CPUT, not at my CPUT. So please remember that. All notes, class recordings, my lecture slides will be posted on Blackboard. If you've got a problem in the class, please meet your class rep. So let's do things appropriately as well. Don't just jump the gun. I've got access to the HOD. Let me just go and tell the HOD. I've got access to the dean. Let me just go and tell the dean. Ensure you go through the right channel. What is the right channel? We'll start from there. Speak to the class rep. Class rep, this is the challenge I'm having. And that's even if you cannot speak to the lecturer directly. Speak to the class rep. The class rep takes it to the lecturer. And if it's still not solved, take it then to the to the level coordinator, which is Mr. Andile Tole, who I'm sure he's taught quite a number of you. So take the issue to him, and then he'll be able to sort it out amicably. Any questions so far? Let me just take a pause there, catch my breath, and then address any question. Any questions so far? Remember, go check the reactions tab at the bottom and raise your hand if you've got any question. Any questions so far? Should I take it as none? And I'm also assuming everyone in the class, you've put down your surname and initials in the chat panel. So if you joined us a bit late and you haven't, please do that right away. So put down your surname and then your initials. So you see, I started with mine. My surname is Oyekola, my initials OO. So I started with my surname Oyekola and then initials. So please do that for yours as well. All right, I see others doing that now. I see Similani and the rest putting that. All right, so we move on. Another thing that is critical for you to pass this subject and every other subject are things we call graduate attributes. So one of the things is, so it's not just about, I've done well in tests, I've done well in that, I've done well. We need you to imbibe the graduate attributes. So what we do is at your level, second year, we are developing. At the same time, I will be assessing them. So through the test, so apply knowledge of mathematics. So how would I be looking? How are we going to be assessing that? We'll be using calculations. So you'll be having calculations and the rest. And then another thing we'll be looking at is not thermodynamics is not just about calculations. So I've added 1 + 1, I've done the subtraction, multiplication, division, and the rest. I've worked with the formula, everything is okay, and I'm fine. It's not just about the calculation, you need to be able to make sense of your calculation. So for example, you're calculating enthalpy, and then your enthalpy change is negative. What does that mean? What does that mean? Your Gibbs free energy is this value, your entropy is decreasing. What is the implication of that? So those are the things we'll be looking at. You've done the calculations. Is it supported by any of the laws of thermodynamics, 0th law, 1st law, or 2nd law? So those are the things. So it's not just about the calculation, it's about the implications of your calculation. So it is essential for you to grasp those things. And then the graduate attribute, the second one, graduate attribute 5. Graduate attribute 5. Are we still okay, or I'm running too fast for you? So if you are still okay, let me know, or you're running too fast for you. Are you okay? Are we still good together, or have I lost I've lost many of you already? Are we still okay? Can I have a yes or no? Okay, yes or no?
Okay.
All right, okay, so I'm going to take silence. All right, thank you so much, Kamohelo. Thank you so much for that, Sibande. Thank you. All right, so we move on. So graduate attribute 5. We'll be using tables. Steam tables are going to be used. So are you able to use those tables properly? Enthalpy table, Gibbs free energy table, are you able to use them properly? So, and obviously I don't expect you to cram this. You'll be given us about you being able to use them appropriately. So the Zoom link, I'll put the Zoom link, all the links is the same link. So even if you are to meet online on a Tuesday, or I say no, based on what is happening now, it's going to be, so please let's remember that. So things might change, but be open to communications. Be open to communications. Please take note of that. But it's still, for all our online classes, it's still going to be Zoom. And another, the reason why I've also adopted Zoom is for things like this. It's clear, it's easy for us to record. We can easily upload it online for you to access later on. So that is one of the reasons why I've done that. I think I've mentioned this already. When we come in, your last name initial. So even if I don't remember to say that in any class, when it's online, you do that. And please make sure your microphone is muted. Make sure you know all those. So that brings us to the end. Another thing you don't want to do is, in as much that, as you can see, I've made it in such a way that it's my video only that is showing, but you don't want to mistakenly activate your video. You don't want us to see certain things. We don't want us to see. So whatever you don't want to be seen in the public, and also for the sake of everyone, so that we wouldn't be using so much bandwidth, it is usually advisable that you make sure you don't activate your video except for the lecturer. So that brings me to the end of today's class. Any questions? If you've got any question, 2 things: raise your hand, use the reactions. Secondly, if you want to verbal, you can either type. And thirdly, if you want to verbalize, unmute yourself. So I'm going to hang around for a few more minutes for those who still need to put down their names, and if anyone has something to ask. Are we all good? Okay.